home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
This is the Kansas City Chiefs Radio Network.
Chiefs Cowboys Thursday with kickoff at 3:30 right here on 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, and Odyssey Sports Station.
And welcome into After Hours. Jay Binkley here, 7 to 9. Nick Price producing the operation. Nick Price here for the Mitch Holthus Kingdom Show from Gladstone tonight. Always gets us fired up right before the show, right? Listening to Mitch for an hour. Good stuff from Hy-Vee.
100%. And, I mean, plenty of things to talk about after that one yesterday, Bink. So
Yes.
I'm excited for the next 2 hours for us to get into it.
Same here, buddy. Oh, by the way, happy Thanksgiving week to you. Are you guys
as
going to
well.
shut down Jefferson's for a day there? Or
Yeah, it'll
is
be
it
closed
open?
on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
But, you know, that day before Thanksgiving, usually a pretty big one. So
It
we'll be
is.
seeing people out there.
When did that start, man? Because it goes back. Didn't that become the de facto going out day Wednesday night?
Yeah.
You go with your friends before you chill with the family there on Thursday?
I think it's got something to do with, like, you know, a bunch of people you haven't seen in a while. They all come back home for the holidays. And so Christmas time, it's always, you know, a lot of hustle and bustle. But it's really about Thanksgiving. So you get in the night before, and then you go out and see people they haven't seen in a while. So Jefferson's, best place to do that at. Just throwing that out
100%.
there.
Been there a few times. Both locations, Lenexa and North Kansas City, to
That's
be honest
right.
with you. No, it's always good stuff. Of course, you bring the stuff in on the weekends during the Chiefs network stuff that you bring in, which we really appreciate that. So I saw you last week. You were pretty down. You're pretty down because of the Broncos. You always stop in here. A lot of times you'll stop in with me. I got you the whole time tonight. So usually you stop in before you go. And I know you've been here a long time, Nick, and we've seen the Chiefs, good times, bad times. It's been mostly good at this point, though. Maybe at the very beginning. What was your first year here? What, 12, 13?
I think it was 2018.
Was it 2018?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 2018.
So right on the cusps there. The Mahomes years. Basically, I've seen you in the Mahomes years.
Yeah, basically.
So, but you know it's been lean. You've been from around here. You know it's been lean. And you know we've had good times and bad times. But you were pretty distraught against the Broncos that game. And I was upset about that game, too. I mean, everything on the line. And then all of a sudden the next game becomes bigger, right? And all of a sudden the Colts became the must-win. We looked at the Broncos game to be a must-win for the division, to make 9, 10 straight division titles at that point. Didn't happen. So, all right, biggest game of the year, Indianapolis Colts, Arrowhead Stadium. They're 17-1 in their last 18 games at Arrowhead Stadium. Let's go. Let's bring it on. And, of course, they get the win. I'm excited. You're excited about it. But you know what? It's going to keep getting bigger. I mean, Dallas is pesky. The Dallas Cowboys can be pesky. But if the Chiefs were to lose one, you want to lose it to an NFC team, not AFC, for the AFC record. So that's for sure. But then all of a sudden you have Houston that's all of a sudden viable at this point. I haven't slept on Houston all year, to be honest with you. You know, I've been putting them in early on. I believed in this team. They have won playoff games the last 2 years. I know that C.J. Stroud really hasn't been as good as he's been in the past, but still a playoff quarterback. And he's been hurt, and Davis Mills, a roll with them. They've won 3 straight. But that defense, I think people are finally starting to talk about it. But that defense of Houston's no joke. D'Amico Ryans has that defense up and going, right? They're number 1 in points against. They've been this way all year, and they're still that way. So the Houston defense is no joke. They've played a lot of close games. I get that. But their defense can bring it, especially the pass rush and getting to the quarterback. Ask Josh Allen. He was sacked 8 times for that. So then you got Houston. That's going to be a huge game because of the playoff implications in the AFC, right? Going to be talking Houston and Kansas City. Chargers game, that's going to be big for what the Chargers do, a team that wants to get into the postseason. So that's going to be a big game. The only 2 really on the schedule left that aren't, you'd say, big games that I think the Chiefs could handle them. But again, you better try every week. It's at Tennessee and at the Raiders. Tennessee damn near won against a good team last week. I mean, they're pesky enough to do it. They're pesky enough to be a pain in the butt. They still suck, don't get me wrong. But if that's going to be your road games after Dallas is out of the way, to Tennessee and to the Raiders, I think you'll take that. But for the most part, it was good to get the Colts game out of the way.
Definitely. And I think yesterday was the do or die moment of the season. And it looked pretty doom and gloom there for a while when the Chiefs offense was struggling. You had some turnovers at crucial times, but you talk about the Texans defense, it's the Chiefs defense that is really keeping this team
Oh, they are.
where they need to be. And I mean, they came up in a big way, and you saw guys even like, we've been dogging on Chris Jones this year for lack of production or lack of effort or whatever you want to call it. He's been fantastic.
You don't even look at the stat book when it comes to him. It's the pressure he's put on the quarterback, the double teams he's taken, the literal linebackers.
Do you have eyes? Are you watching the game?
But yeah, this defense has been insane. I mean, 33 first downs to 10, time of possession 42 to 17. It's because of that defense. And I've been singing the praises of this fourth down defense all year. It's number one in the NFL still. Now, they didn't get a chance on fourth down against the Colts because their offense was so bad because of the defense being so good. From fourth quarter to overtime, Nick, Chiefs outscored them 14-0. The yards, 266 to 18. 18. That's all they could have. Fourth quarter through overtime, 18 yards for the NFL's best offense, right? First downs, 13-0, just fourth quarter overtime on. I mean, it was hands down a beatdown from the Chiefs. I mean, the score doesn't show it. And keep in mind, when you blast the team the yards and the first downs being so different, usually roll them. Matter of fact, it's happened in the NFL, and it's happened several times this year. It's happened 6 times. Jesse Newell from the Star, who covers the Chiefs, looked it up in True Media Sports, right? Get this. In the 2025 season, teams that outgained their opponents by 235 yards or more entering Week 12, which Chiefs did, they're 6-0. They've won by double digits each of those games. The average margin of victory is 23 points. Chiefs won in overtime. I mean, we know the interception by Mahomes, the fumble by Kareem Hunt. I mean, they were fumbling on themselves in the red zone. But you know what? They put that aside and said, we got to win this game. Over my dead body, they got to win this game. And they went out and they did it. But typically when you have these type of beatdowns, Indianapolis too, Nick, and we talked about it last week. Indianapolis, listen, they gave the Chiefs all they wanted, but on paper, are they a Johnny-come-lately or are they real? And the schedule got tighter for them, and it started with Pittsburgh because early in the season, they beat the Titans twice, they beat the Dolphins, they beat the Cardinals. Congratulations. They traded 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. Congratulations. They believe their time is now. The thing about the NFL is that window's short. And do you want to be a Johnny-come-lately or do you want to be relevant? Do you want to sit at the adults' table at Thanksgiving or do you want to sit with the kids? Like, where do you want to be? This was their chance to knock off the king at Arrowhead Stadium, prove they're the real deal. They had the number one offense in the NFL, scored the most points. Jonathan Taylor led the NFL in rushing. Said it last week. Jonathan Taylor doesn't scare me. Daniel Jones sure the hell doesn't scare me. Oh, but wait, come on. His last 2 games before the Chiefs games, he's turned the ball over 7 times. It's not exactly MVP, our quarterback, we want to rally behind numbers. It's just not. And all of a sudden, I understand Daniel Jones is on the right path and he's doing better. Let's make no mistake, he's still Daniel Jones that played early on. It's still the same dude. It's just a different uniform. But the one thing that bothered me most was Louis Anarumo, the defensive coordinator for the Colts, because he has slowed Mahomes down in the past and has confused him with different coverages, all that man. They played man almost 41% of the time in that game. That is a nemesis. And now Patrick Mahomes 4-3 against Louis Anarumo in their history. But that bothered me more than anything. And keep in mind, as I said, that schedule got tougher for the Colts. Are they real or for not? Well, 2 weeks ago, they played at Pittsburgh. A real challenge for them, even though Pittsburgh's not that great as we know. The number 32 defense against the pass in the NFL. They're not great against the pass. Daniel Jones still had 3 picks and 2 fumbles in that game. They lost the game. Then they had the chance to go over to Germany and play the Falcons. And the Falcons are a big bundle of suck. And they go to overtime with them. And then they had a chance against the Chiefs. They lost. So 2 of the last 3 games, the 2 legitimate teams they beat with winning records now, the Chiefs and the Steelers, they lost both games. And they went to overtime against the Falcons. They've been to overtime in their last 2 games. I'm just saying. And they have a 1-year contract so far for Daniel Jones, but they're getting ready to back up that Brinks truck. They just are, because that's what teams do with quarterbacks in the NFL. Go for it, man. Do you really feel like that guy is going to be the team leading this guy? Or do you say our offense is more led by Tyler Warren, the tight end, and Jonathan Taylor, the running back? Or is Daniel Jones just facilitating the offense and going forward? I don't know. but he got beat down when it counted in the fourth quarter and overtime. He couldn't do crap.
No, and you can tell the difference between a team like the Colts, which is kind of a Johnny-come-lately, the best season they've had in a while, and kind of like the new kids on the block, right? They're coming out here. They beat a lot of bad teams, and I still think the Colts are a solid football team, right? Like
100%.
I don't think they're one of I don't think they're mediocre or anything like that. I think they're an above-average football team.
I think Lou Anarumo helps that team come up with schemes. I mean, I think
100%.
They're led by the defensive coordinator and the defense isn't that great statistically, but against the run they are.
And this is the kind of things that happen when you are a team that maybe is a little inflated by your record. You haven't been challenged a whole lot. When you go up against a team like the Kansas City Chiefs, like a team that has been there, done that. They've been shutting down running backs for how many years now?
They've allowed one 100-yard rushing running back in the last 30 games.
And that was James Cook in a game that you just got dominated.
When the Chiefs said, we need to stop Josh Allen.
Right.
That was public enemy number one for the Chiefs. It wasn't James Cook.
And in this game, public enemy number one was Jonathan Taylor. And he had 16 carries for 58 yards. Mind you, one of those was a 27-yard rush. So we're talking about 2 yards a carry. I mean, that's really, really good. And that's the kind of things that set up the Chiefs and make me feel a lot better about it. A lot better about the outlook of the season than I was talking about last week.
Sure.
It was pretty down in the dumps, But coming into this, I mean, the Chiefs still have an elite defense, and they still have an elite quarterback who's going to make the big plays at the end of the games, or is at least capable of doing it.
And he got under center.
And he got under center, and they really tried to establish an identity in this
Kareem
game.
Hunt had 30 carries, career high.
Yeah.
He sucked it up.
Yeah.
He did. He sucked it up for the team. 30 carries, that's most he's ever had in his career. His rookie year, 2017, he had 2 games where he had 29 carries against the Dolphins and against Houston. And he's had a 27-carry game, 2 of those. Most of it's been like 22. It's been kind of a high water mark for Kareem, but he sucked it up. And as Albert Breer said very pointedly, and I love this about the Chiefs. Let me get some sound here. Get these new computers, Nick, so.
See how it works out.
Yeah. Get me potted up over here.
Hey, you got it.
I don't hear it.
Yeah, maybe it's not working.
Okay. Well, anyway, Albert Breer is talking about the Chiefs still being the Chiefs since 100% what they are. The Chiefs are still the Chiefs. We'll get that sound up here in just a minute with Albert Breer. But bottom line is he's saying the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. You got to respect them. You got to respect what they're doing. So right now, who have they beaten? Well, they beat the Ravens. And I know the Ravens were injured, but guess what? The Ravens were favored at Arrowhead Stadium. And look at the Ravens now. Look how good this team is now if they're healthy. They beat the Lions, which, by the way, is a big tiebreaker for the Chiefs. This is why the Steelers, you want them to win that division. They still play the Ravens twice because they have that head-to-head over the Ravens. They beat the Ravens. They beat the Lions. They beat the Colts now. And they could have beat the Eagles, damn it, but it was that Kelsey bobble in the end zone. They could have beat the Eagles. So we could have added them to the equation. But you didn't. But again, teams aren't rolling. Denver acted like they had just won the Super Bowl beating the Chiefs. They really did. And they beat the Chiefs on a walk-off field goal. Hey, that's how the Chiefs been winning. But the Chiefs don't sit there and say, oh, man, we kicked your ass. We kicked your ass. No, they won as time expired to the Denver Broncos win that one. And the Colts are whining. They're whining a lot like the the Detroit Lions, who never really got over that game with the Kansas City Chiefs. But poor Doug Clawson, who works for CBS, largest fourth-quarter comeback win in Mahomes' career when he's down by 11 points. Best record all time, down 10-plus points at any time in the game, 20-18 regular and postseason. 7-0 now in the regular season and overtime, best by any quarterback all time. And as I talked to Kramer before the show, he's walking around the bullpen there. We were talking about quarterbacks and one-score games. And how the Chiefs, 1-5 now. Mahomes still, in the 144 career starts, regular season, postseason, only 6 times he's been beaten by more than 1 score. 2 of those happened in 2021. 6 times, and that includes both Super Bowls to the Bucs and Eagles. Just 4 in the regular season. The Bills and Josh Allen have been beat by more than 1 score twice this season. The Texans and the Miami Dolphins. So it does happen, but yes, this feels good for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now the playoffs looking about 66% chance to make the playoffs. I'm always leery about these numbers because it's always like 66% chance to rain, then it doesn't. And you're like, well, there's 35% chance it's not. So, again, you take it 1 week at a time at this point. See who knocks each other off and see what happens because some of these teams have some spicy games. The Jags do not. Jags' schedule is actually very favorable. So is the Broncos.
The Broncos, for sure. We were looking through all the other teams that you're competing with in the AFC for a playoff spot, and the Broncos' schedule is definitely favorable.
They could have this bad boy locked up by Christmas game.
Right. But the other, the Chargers, the Bills, even the Ravens, like they've got some tough games left on their schedule, and this was a big swing game for Kansas City.
Well, you need the Jags to keep losing. Here's who they got though. They do have the Titans twice. They have the Titans twice left on their schedule in the last 7 games. But the good news is they have the Colts twice. So they've got the Colts twice. They've got the Jets still. It's a home game for them. Easy game at the Broncos. Tough game. So that's where you're actually going to be going for the Broncos. But at home, they do have the Colts. They do have the Titans. They do have the Jets at home. So it is favorable. They need to start showing some losses. Start building up some losses at this point. Let's go to Big Al in Kansas City. Our phone number, 913-586-7965. Jay Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. What's up, Big Al?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call on this rainy night. But, hey, Victory Monday, right? I mean, that's all we can hope for. You know, we can't be greedy, right? Anyways, yeah, you guys do great. I just wanted to call in, and I know that I wanted to ask you guys a question.
Sure.
Post game here. Obviously, to me, the Chiefs. I mean, obviously they played their hearts out. Great victory yesterday, but man, they just look exhausted. Right? That's one thing. And I know that I know that it's the schedule we have this year is repercussions from all the wins and Super Bowls we've been to. Right? Harder schedule. So I was wanting to find out. One question I have for you guys is how did we drop to 10th in the standings versus what we were a week before that? I didn't quite get that.
Well, you drop because of who's in front of you and who has a better AFC record at this point, which things will shake out. That's the one thing about the Chiefs. Things will shake out when other teams get in action and play some other teams from the AFC. But, yeah, you're behind Houston. In Houston, they get a chance at the Houston Texans at Arrowhead Stadium. Pittsburgh's still ahead of them. Pittsburgh's trending the wrong direction, though, at this point. Aaron Rodgers was out the last game. We'll see with him going forward. In the Buffalo Bills sitting up there at 7-4, just like the Jaguars. The unfortunate part is the Chargers, the Jags, and the Bills all have tiebreakers over the Chiefs. So we got to find a way to get them some losses. Baltimore, Chiefs have the tiebreaker over them, but Baltimore's now ahead of the division. They're like the 2015 Chiefs. One of 5 teams now in the NFL that have started 1-5 that have turned things around. So Baltimore looks good at this point. It's a good thing the Chiefs got them when they did. They got the tiebreaker over the Ravens.
Yes. Well, like I said, thanks for taking my call. I know they got a tough schedule the rest of the way. Maybe the Titans the only one, but in the NFL anything can happen, right? But
anything.
I just think we've got some tough games to finish the whole season. So I just hope they can withstand. We don't want to. Even if they had a good record, you're going to limp into the playoffs. You know what I mean? Beat up. Right?
Don't want to do that. And they're tired. They played a full season more of football than anybody else. Yeah.
Thanks for taking my
Thanks,
call,
Big Al.
guys.
Appreciate it. And the one thing about the Houston Texans, so they get the Colts now. So at the Chiefs, at the Colts, back-to-back for them. So Colts, then the Chiefs, then the Cardinals and Raiders at home. That's fine for Houston. They'll probably like that situation. Then at the Chargers, so still a scary proposition for them, and then the Colts at home. So the Colts 2 more times for the Houston Texans, so that's good.
And that's one of the things, too, that you feel good if you're in Kansas City shoes because you get to play the Texans, so you get to make sure that you get that tiebreaker in 2 weeks.
And that becomes an ultra-important game when that comes. So they just keep getting bigger and bigger at this point for the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's not going to get easier the rest of the way.
No, it's not.
This was the big swing game, right, Bink, where, this is kind of where your season, there's a fork in the road, and you're either – looking at potentially building for next year, or you're looking at, all right, make a playoff push.
Yeah.
Now you're on playoff push. You got to go beat the Cowboys.
They've seen that fork in the road a couple times. The injury report came out. It's an estimated report because they didn't practice. It's the estimated who's injured. There is a surprising name on there, and there's another name that's on there that should be talked about. We'll do that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. I've spent a lot of Sundays right here playing in front of the best fans in football. And now it's almost your turn to get in the game because DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Show Me State on December 1st. Soon you'll get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. It's America's top-rated sportsbook app. New customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day, December 1st.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. New Missouri customers, sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live. That's code 965. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm John.
And I'm Garrison.
And a little thing we love about the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets
is sharing it in the car during the holidays.
I do love that.
We will pack the car with gifts. And of course, we go and pick up our family's favorite nuggets.
Every nugget is tasty times quadrillion.
And we get all the sides.
Yeah, the ooey gooey mac and cheese is a big hit.
Everyone from 1 to 116 would love Chick-fil-A's chicken nuggets.
Share the nuggets, share the joy. Order the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Every now and then I rinse it out, and I need Downy rinse tonight, and I need it more. My kid wears the bed and the smell never leaves. I don't know what to do, I'm always in the dark. The sweat in that short smells like a dog fart. Downy rinse it tonight.
Downy Rinse fights stubborn odors in just one wash. When impossible odors get stuck in,
Rinse it out.
I'm McCall from Lee Summit Subaru, and we're committed to helping our community through the Subaru Love Promise, like our commitment to Hillcrest Transitional Housing to help solve homelessness. Lee Summit Subaru also sponsors several pet adoption clinics like Midwest Animal Rescue and events each year, such as Dogtoberfest. It's all part of the Subaru Love Promise, and we're committed to helping our community fall in love with driving again at Lee Summit Subaru, leesummitsubaru.com.
Hi, I'm Sam Silvio with M. Shamus Brazilian Grill in the village of Burlington Creek. Holidays will be here before you know it, and M. Shamus is ready to get a jingle from you. From our all-you-can-eat hot and cold gourmet salad bar to our 12 cuts of beef, lamb, pork, or chicken. Go to mshamus.com to order our famous Brazilian glazed holiday hams in advance, or set a holiday party date for a table of 1 to a party of 100. Go to mshamus.com and discover the joy of dining.
Hi, I'm Kylie.
I'm John.
And I'm Garrison.
And a little thing we love about the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets
is sharing it in the car during the holidays.
I do love that.
We will pack the car with gifts. And of course, we go and pick up our family's favorite nuggets.
Every nugget is tasty times quadrillion.
And we get all the sides.
Yeah, the ooey gooey mac and cheese is a big hit.
Everyone from 1 to 116 would love Chick-fil-A's chicken nuggets.
Share the nuggets, share the joy. Order the 30-count Chick-fil-A nuggets on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
Every now and then I rinse it out, and I need Downy rinse tonight, and I need it more. My kid wears the bed and the smell never leaves. I don't know what to do, I'm always in the dark. The sweat in that short smells like a dog fart. Downy rinse it tonight.
Downy Rinse fights stubborn odors in just one wash. When impossible odors get stuck in,
Rinse it out.
Did you know we have an Instagram channel? MVP Monday, Chiefs Take Tuesday, Best Bets, Fantasy Football Advice, and real-time updates during Chiefs games. Get behind-the-scenes content from all the guys on a daily basis. It's exactly why Instagram was created, to look at a bunch of 30-year-old dudes giving sports opinions. Kansas City's FM sports station and your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back to After Hours on this Monday night. Game week, Chiefs Thursday afternoon against the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day. Jay Binkley, Nick Price producing the operation. Big plans for you Thanksgiving, Nick, besides sitting and watching football all day, I hope?
Pretty much just hanging out with the family.
Yeah.
Gonna eat a lot of food and gonna watch all the football, all the sports.
Traditional style, get a turkey out and everything else?
Yeah, we do like turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing. Very underrated, by the way. I think stuffing is one of the best things about Thanksgiving.
But one of the questions we had on Twitter there and Instagram, turkey or ham? What's the better Thanksgiving dish?
See, I think it's turkey. Not a big ham guy, but
turkey won out. It was like 6-2.
Really?
I was ham.
See, I think ham is underrated though.
Country,
I didn't eat a lot of ham.
Honey baked ham,
up.
that stuff's good, man.
Dude, really good. No, and I never really ate a lot of ham growing up because we just weren't a ham family.
Yeah.
But then, getting with my fiance's family is like big into ham. They do Christmas hams and all that, and so starting to grow on me for sure.
You know what I'm doing?
What are you doing?
Neither of that.
Yeah.
Oh, there'll be some honey baked ham, barbecue.
I like that.
From the day before.
Yeah, I like
that.
that.
Smokehouse, always bring it in, briskets, burnt ends, that kind of thing, and we fire it up on Thanksgiving Day. So, very Kansas City Thanksgiving, right?
Hey, that's perfect. We've switched it up in the past and done like Italian food. We do like an Italian feast on Thanksgiving, but yeah, this year pretty traditional kind of food at the Price household. So,
well, that's text line 913-586-7965. Jay Southland Toast Service text line. Turkey or ham? What's your preference on Thanksgiving Day? By the way, the Monday Night Football game tonight, still scoreless, 49ers and Panthers. The Panthers are 6-5. The division leader is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 5 straight division titles for them. They're currently 6-5 too. You saw them get hammered last night, but they win a tiebreak over Carolina based on best win percentage in division games. Now, the 49ers are the 7th seed in the NFC. They win the tiebreaker of Detroit because Detroit's right behind them at 8. So, yes, the crying Detroit Lions fans still can cry over this. But they're 8th seed instead of 7th because San Francisco wins the tiebreaker over Detroit based on best winning percentage in conference games. A little Monday Night Football, and it looks like 49ers just scored a touchdown.
Little Juwan Jennings action.
Little Juwan Jennings scored. There's Kittle coming over here to greet him. I need Tedero McMillan to get an anytime touchdown for Carolina. That's kind of what I'm rooting for.
I'm here for it. I got him on multiple fantasy teams.
Do you?
So
you have T?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's good. He's good, man.
The injury report came out today, and this is an estimation they give, but they got to put one out anyway, right? So this was the estimated injury report if they practiced today, what it would be. The Chiefs always put it out. Obviously, Trey Smith's not practicing. He's got the cord with Ian Rappaport, that high ankle sprain, low ankle sprain. High ankle sprain is kind of worse. I'm a doctor here, but I think high ankle sprain's a little bit worse than low ankle, so it's not good. But Patrick Mahomes is on here for the growing because it slowed him down a little bit, but he's listed as, quote, a full participant, even though he didn't participate, but full participant, so something to watch there. But there was Rashee Rice on there, and they put him down, not as full practice designation, but limited practice designation on a fake practice that didn't happen. But I'll say this. If you watch the game, that was one of my big questions after the game. We know about Trey Smith's injury, but they really didn't talk about Rashee Rice. But you remember during the game, he actually went out there for a while. It looked like maybe a hamstring injury, and that's clearly what it is because it's what they listed upon here. And he wanted to get back in the game. The coach was like, no, and they held him out for a couple of plays. But if you notice the last couple of catches he got, he was very big in this game, the 8 catches, 141 yards. But his last couple of catches, he caught it and then went down, straight down. Like he didn't wait for contact.
He slid on that one.
Yeah, he's a yards after contact type guy. So I get it trying to pick the football, but let's not forget that hamstring. I think he gutted it out. I think he was gutting it out, kind of like we look at Kareem Hunt now. He gutted it out. I think Rashee Rice is basically doing the same thing.
I think a lot of guys gutted it out.
But he went straight down. I think so too. But that's something to watch because he was going straight down, not being who he is. I didn't know if you noticed that or not.
No, I definitely saw that too. And, take this with a grain of salt of what you're seeing today because they didn't actually practice. So this is normally would be a day off for them,
But the one thing is, it's from them, though. It's not from
It is
us
from
making
them.
It up. Yeah.
It is from them. It's not like it's just made up or anything. But no, I think that's, Rice and Worthy, both guys to watch for this week. I mean, Trey Smith, not looking like he's going to be available. Noah Gray is not going to get out of concussion protocol by then. Leo Chenal popping up on there too. So I think a lot of these guys are really banged up, especially after a really physical, just gritty game yesterday.
Because this would have been them. It would have been limited practice for Leo today. LP and George Pickens, by the way, is the DNP for the Dallas Cowboys. He's dealing with that knee and calf issues. He's definitely not 100%, even though he's been playing like crazy lately.
Right. No, and he's been very impressive. But this is going to be something to watch throughout the next 2 days leading into the Thanksgiving game, Bink, because you don't have time to slip. You can't slip up against this game, and you want to go into it as fully stocked as you possibly can. So it's going to be pretty key for them to have, especially these offensive weapons, because we know if there's one thing about Dallas that you can attack, it's that defense. And the one part that is really good about their defense already has a little bit of a leg up now because their defensive tackles are strong, and you're not going to have Trey
Quentin Williams
Smith in
is
the
a good
middle.
move for them.
Big time. He was a really good move for them. Definitely has given them a little bit more of an identity on defense.
Still miss Micah, but yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's no Micah, but nobody is.
He does miss them. Get some response here on turkey or ham or whatever you do. I'm curious what you do for that. But as far as the Chiefs yesterday, Rich Eisen on his show, he was talking about being go time for Kansas City. Get this, since 2019, best team record week 12 or later. Chiefs are number one, of course. 32-7, 821 winning percentage, week 12 and later, when it really matters. Not the early season stuff. It doesn't matter. It's what you do week 12 on. The Packers, believe it or not, number 2. 30-9, 769 winning percentage. The Bills, who just had their Hallmark movie this week. Congratulations to them. 29-9 after week 12, a 763 winning percentage. So that's your top 3 teams in the NFL week 12 and on, according to Rich Eisen.
You've seen this plenty of times too, Bink, where the Chiefs, as much as everybody forgets about it because they always end up going to the AFC title game, going to the Super Bowl, and that's all you really think of when you think back on a season. The Chiefs have been in similar spots to this. Now, it's a little bit more losses early in the season than what you're used to here in Kansas City, but they do turn it on once the calendar hits December, and they are great in the month of December, and they know how to close out and just start rising up those AFC rankings.
Yeah, and like Big Al was saying about, looking tired, I think they do look tired at times. But keep in mind, they have played a full extra season, actually more than an extra season because of all the postseason games. Now, it's not an excuse, but that is reality. That is reality. They have played more football games than anybody else. A lot of teams are in Cancun when the Chiefs are still playing. Teams are on the beach in Cancun drinking pina coladas when the Chiefs are playing a minus 31-degree wind chill against the Miami Dolphins.
Right, and we talked about this last week too, Jay, about how you look at the 90s Bowls or, the Yankees teams that won all those World Series in a row and all that kind of stuff, and by the end of it, you are gassed, and you're older now, and it's not as easy to bounce back and all of that, and you definitely see a little bit of that in this team, but what I was most encouraged of yesterday was their ability to still dig deep and show that they still have that fight.
Still have the fight. From the text line, that's a quick question, comment. Keep hearing about how the defense stepped up and how we ran the ball, but I haven't heard anyone make the correlation of what running the ball and slowing down the game where your defense has time to rest. That's huge. The 42 minutes of possession time is big time because they're able to turn around, run the football. Even though 3.5 yards a carry, they were still committed to the running game, and that kept that defense fresh because they weren't on the field as much. Then when they were on the field, they were getting 3 and outs for the Indianapolis Colts down the stretch there and getting time to rest. And, and you hear the announcers talking about 4th down, and the Colts should have gone for it, and Tony Romo was really, Colts should have gone for it. I hate to remind him here, but here's the deal, and keep in mind, the Kansas City fans are tired of Tony Romo. The visiting teams are even more tired of him. They think he losses Mahomes all the time. He was actually pretty critical at different times of that game if you were listening to what he was saying. And as far as going for it on 4th down, in previous years, yes, but he didn't make the correlation. He didn't do his homework. The Chiefs are number 1 in the NFL on teams that go for it on 4th down, 23.5%. That's less than a 1 in 4 chance to get a first down on the Chiefs, even in short yardage situations on 4th down. Now, in Mahomes' career, it's been more advantageous to do it. They're 57% going for it on 4th down in the last 7 years prior. So that means you have a better than a coin flip chance to get a first down if you're going for it. It's much different this year because the Chiefs are flipping that field position, and they're putting Mahomes back on the field with great field position because the team's going for it like a turnover to get back on the field. That's the one thing Tony Romo has paid a lot of money to analyze the game, leaves out. That's just a big, big, huge part of what the Chiefs are. They leave out, and that's sad.
And that was
pathetic, to be honest with you.
100%, because you've got to know from watching enough football and watching this team over the past 7 years that the reason why teams are going for it on fourth down is because they're afraid that one more possession, one more chance for Patrick Mahomes for number 15 is going to be the difference in the game. But even yesterday, you saw the Colts. They were in some, 4th and 2, 4th and 4 situations around midfield. They went up there trying to get the Batum offsides play and trying to get a free first down.
Tried
but
twice.
They had no intention of snapping that football because they knew the more chances you give Patrick Mahomes, eventually he's going to get you. And that's what happened. It just took a lot longer than most Chiefs fans wanted.
And the Colts were very good on fourth down. But they know by looking at analytics, it's a different Chiefs team. It's completely a different team of what you do. So that's why they didn't do it. But that was not brought up. Matter of fact, the Colts lead the NFL in fourth down percentage. They're 81%. They've attempted 21. They've made 17. But they declined to do it against the Chiefs. Maybe, just maybe, because the numbers don't go in their favor to go against the Chiefs on fourth down. So in previous years, that's what you had to do to beat the Chiefs. Yeah, a little bit different at this point. I'll explain something else that's going on. What's impressive about the Chiefs, what other teams are doing. Explain it next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
The holidays are here, and so's the newest Academy Sports and Outdoors, right in your neighborhood. Score kids ride-ons that say, my 8-year-old's truck is nicer than mine. Grills and smokers that say, there is no wrong way to cook a turkey. And new Nike fleece hoodies that say, I keep it chill, no matter the temp. Academy has all the legendary Christmas gifts your family wants at undefeatable prices, because here, fun can't lose. Win Christmas at your new Academy Sports and Outdoors.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
On the golf tee, it's Skechers World Champions Cup. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. It's PGA Champions Tour golfers from all over the world. Team USA versus Team Europe versus Team International. Watch it live December 4th and 5th on ESPN and ESPN Plus, 12 to 4 p.m. The competition will be tense, but feet will be comfy. Tune in to Skechers World Champions Cup. Final round of golf on Sunday, December 7th on ABC, 1 to 5 p.m.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppable beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. Come see for yourself. Visit us in store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
If you've been diagnosed with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, this is what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Imagine being a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy. With Tremfya, clearer skin is possible. In clinical trials, at least 70% of patients saw at least 90% clearer skin at 16 weeks. Results may vary. Tremfya is also indicated for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Call 1-800-526-7736 or visit tremfya.com.
96.5 The Fan and the Kansas Lottery are giving you a shot at fourth quarter fortune with the chance to score a game day tailgate bundle and a $100 holiday instant ticket. Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win. Must be 18 or older to enter.
What are you doing, Panthers? Throwing a pick? The fact they're throwing the ball towards the end there. Bryce Young, you threw a pick.
I mean, it got you a little excited for McMillan, but
I did. But it
didn't
was
last
going
long.
to, wasn't it, McMillan?
I think it might have been.
Yeah, well, crap. 49ers get an interception. They're going to pose like they did again in the Super Bowl. They come back to bite them. No, what I was going to say, Nick, is you see this game, you see this return to relevancy, and it just shows you how hard what the Chiefs do is. Think about the Buccaneers. You know, they get hammered last night. Listen, they've won the division 4 straight times, NFC South. But since they beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, yeah, they've been okay in the division. They've been winning it, but they've been irrelevant in the playoffs. It is tough to do, man. Going to the AFC title game every year is a tough thing to do. Like, I don't think we put enough respect on what the Chiefs have been able to do. It goes back to that phone call with Big Al about how tired they look because they're playing all the playoff games. Well, when you've gone to 7 straight AFC title games and you're playing either the AFC title game or Super Bowl, you're going to get worn out. But they've been able to fight through it, which is good. That's what they're doing. They're sucking it up like Kareem Hunt did yesterday. It was awesome to see. What Rasheed Rice did, it's awesome to see. The Rams, yeah, they look pretty good this year. Made the playoffs last year, look good. Remember, they've won a Super Bowl. Have they been in 7 straight NFC title games? No. They're racking up Super Bowls. Chiefs have been the 5. What have they done? Yeah, they won one. Congratulations. They got that one when the Bengals beat the Chiefs in the AFC title game. They were able to get one. But these teams that keep winning, then they fall off to oblivion. Like the Jags, we've seen it twice. Once they get the AFC title game, Blake Bortles fell off. A couple coaches later, the Urban Meyers, Doug Petersons, guys get canned. They win a playoff game against the Chargers. Things look good. Boom, they fall back to irrelevancy. They're drafted number 2 in the draft, drafting Travis Hunter. Again, now they're building themselves back up. They beat the Chiefs, thought they had arrived. Clearly took a few losses after that. They're still trying to fight through the irrelevancy figure of all these teams. We see them. They're Johnny-come-latelys. They make it to the big game, then they fall off. And the Bills just trying to even get there, just trying to even get to the Super Bowl. It's what the Chiefs are doing is remarkable, considering the success that they've had, being able to keep doing it. And when you have the top schedule, number 1 schedule in the NFL, you play these primetime games, you're freaking playing in Brazil, flying back and playing the world champion Eagles in week 2. These things are what you get when you have success. Chiefs have had success, and they're paying for it. And you know what? They're doing it. They're still doing the job. They're still getting it done. In crunch time and prime time, when it matters, they're still getting it done. Other teams don't. Other teams are good, then they fall off. And then on the back of the milk carton, you know where they went. The Chiefs continue to be the Chiefs, and that's what makes them special. Let's go to Batman out in Lawrence, Kansas. What's up, Batman?
What's up, you guys? You know, I'm telling you that this team right here, you can compare it. I love the way Nick was saying there's a lot of things, a lot of similarities in our past runs. We're going to run the table, Bink. I'm telling you. This team right here has got as many weapons that I've seen in all the teams put together. And one good thing is we're healthy, brother. I mean, we got a few nicks here and there, but our main pieces are healthy. And I'm telling you, Bink, with the way it's going, we're going to run the table. What do you think?
So, well, I like the optimism, but I don't think all the pieces are exactly healthy. You're going to miss Trey Smith for a couple of games. That's a big piece in your running game. And I compared Friday night. I looked at 24 Chiefs, right, offense and defensively, Nick, and 25 Chiefs offensive and defensively. The 25 Chiefs are better than every category. And, of course, running has been a big thing, right? They're running for the Kansas City Chiefs. They average 115 yards a game. This is the second highest total in the Mahomes era that they've ran for. Last year, they only ran for 95 yards a game, or 105. They're averaging 10 more yards a game running the football this year, and let this game out of it. Take the 148 out of it. This is going into that game. They had a 10 yards per game better average than last year. The cracks were there. They couldn't run it last year either. Let's not forget that. They did not run the ball well a season ago. So it's not like just all of a sudden 2025 they can't run the football. Well, they haven't done it before. And 115.9 is the tops in the Mahomes era. This is 115.3 going into this game. That's going up after this game, clearly, when you run for 148. So this, right now, you're looking at the most yards per game the Chiefs have ran for in the Patrick Mahomes era, which is crazy to think about considering how thin they are running back.
It is really crazy to think about because it's definitely not one of the things that, even before the season, you look at this team and say, oh, that's a strength of this team. It's
not a strength. It's just weird when you break down the numbers.
Right.
They're actually running the football more than what they have in the past.
And I think overall,
118.3, excuse me, 118.3.
Okay.
So last year they ran for 105 yards a game. This is the most ever in the Mahomes era, 118.3, the most ever.
I think it's good, too. I mean, looking at the way that things have shaken out in the 5 losses, it's not necessarily a lack of trying to run the football or anything like that. You've just had a lot of one-score games.
Early in the season,
it's
when Mahomes timely runs, but he's backed off the running a little bit. Last year, or yesterday, 30 yards for him. So that's coming down to the means a little bit.
Which also, I am totally fine with when Mahomes wants to run.
Yeah.
You know, like some of the
Timely
best
runs.
plays that he's ever made are those timely runs. And
If
even
you're
when
going
he's
to take
not
away
running,
what he's doing down the field and 2 safeties and everything else, let him run it and pay for it.
and him being
Pay
able to
for it.
freestyle too when
Pay
he's out
for it.
there, when he's on the run. They finally ran a couple of those bootleg plays where he's kind of got the option, take it yourself or throw it downfield yesterday. And I was really happy to see that because Patrick's always been the most explosive quarterback in the NFL when he's on the move. And so they're starting to get back into that a little bit too, which is great.
A true dual threat quarterback. That's what Marcus Spears was saying today on ESPN. It's true. He is. It's the timely runs for Mahomes. Make them pay. If they're going to back up and try to take away every passing lane from you, make them pay with your legs. And then all of a sudden, they'll start creeping up like they did early in the season, thinking you're going to be running all the time and spy you. And then you just deliver the football with, better than average receivers at this point and get the football downfield. But you got to be able to take advantage of that situation. That's why you need everybody healthy. And I know we just had the call there from Batman. Not everybody's healthy, though. I mentioned Trey Smith's he's going to miss this game, for sure. And who knows about further ones, but it's not good diagnosis. And then Rasheed Rice had that hamstring. You noticed it, Nick. I noticed that he did go down after a couple catches there, and he did fight to get back in the game. Keep an eye out on that one, too. So not everybody's 100. And Xavier Worthy's been battling injuries basically ever since Travis Kelce ran him over in game 1.
He's just been gritting it out and making sure that he's available for game day at this point.
That's what he's doing. But he's constantly battling that ankle and shoulder and everything else he's been dealing with, trying to get back out there. So they're not 100% healthy, but nobody is in the NFL. All injury reports are full at this point. Nobody is actually 100% healthy. The good news is you have your quarterback, knock on wood, because that's exactly what you need. We'll address some of these 913-586-7965. What are you doing for Thanksgiving? Because I am curious, ham or turkey, which direction are you going? But plenty of Chiefs talk remaining throughout the rest of this program.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi,
Hi, we're the people who have everything.
There's nothing you can get us we don't have.
We have 7 mini vacuums.
And Pearl handled pickleball rackets.
See?
Need a gift for someone who has everything? The Kansas Lottery has you covered with holiday scratch tickets in $1, $2, $5, $10, and $20 options, with instant wins up to $100,000. You could win even more in second chance drawings.
Did he say thousands?
We could always use that.
See kslottery.com for details.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Another summer is ended, and you may have noticed that your energy is lower, your workouts aren't as productive, perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time, maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Heartland Men's Health and get treated for your low T, because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improved sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Inside the Huddle with Cody and Gold each day from noon till 1 on 96.5 The Fan. Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue on the official radio partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. 96.5 The Fan.
You've got a big day. So you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Welcome back, Jay Binkley, Nick Price. Have you ever seen so much complaining, man? Maybe it's just the algorithm you have when you're playing the Colts. You start sitting morning. Did you see how much they were talking about the officiating and how they got jobbed in that game? Were they just nitpicking things? It seems like people are nitpicking what they're seeing. Did you see the non-face mask phantom call on Jawan Taylor that negated a touchdown for the Kansas City Chiefs, put him back to the kick? Did you see that?
Yeah.
It also had helped him out, too, like that replay assist, because remember that Noah Gray where he's kind of knocked out on that play, but he did catch the football with his legs there? They were going to challenge that. Shane Steichen was going to challenge that, but replay assist jumped in and said, no, it's a catch, so he didn't have to waste the timeout. And he didn't have to waste the challenge. That saved the Panthers a timeout because he was going to challenge it, and he would have lost the challenge. With replay assist jumped in, which they could have done on the Jawan Taylor phantom face mask call, because the rules state you can't challenge it as a coach, which the broadcast should have known that. and they had Chiefs fans all in a quandary and thinking, oh, God, Andy Reid should have challenged it. He couldn't challenge that face mask.
Right.
But Replay Assist in New York could have jumped in on the headsets and told them that wasn't a face mask, because that is something they can do. Rule 9, NFL rule book, they can do that, but they didn't do it. So it wasn't a problem with the challenge. It was a problem from New York. It was the Chiefs getting, quote, screwed. But you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. You want to hear where the other teams get screwed. But the Lions fans, they're probably still crying over that game where they were just soundly beat 30-17. And I don't want to hear any more from them at all. Now Colts fans are all mad, and they're mad when a defensive player, and I agree with the rule's stupid. You can't land on a quarterback with your body.
Yeah, it's
what the hell is
kind
she
of
supposed
an
to do?
impossible play there, right?
And there's a couple times that Daniel Jones was sacked, and he got, there was no penalty. And people are like, why isn't this penalty on them when you got a penalty on Mahomes? Well, it depends on how their body falls and what they do, but it's a judgment call. And I agree, it is dumb, but it is the rule. But all of a sudden, these Colts fans, I think, forget the fact the Chiefs have seen this firsthand as well. Remember, Chris Jones got on top of Derek Carr, and there's no other way to fall, and the Chiefs were called for the same thing.
Chris Jones actually already had the football in his hand before he went down, too.
But people don't want to hear when it went against the Chiefs. They only like their own narrative. There's a whole bunch of, let's try to fit this in the narrative. Just like the Tony Romo was so bad at how much he's glossing the Chiefs and stuff like that, he was also very critical of the Chiefs as well. More critical than I've ever heard him. Matter of fact, I got tired of Tony Romo. I'm tired of this because the announcers bring up the bad calls all the time with the Chiefs. At least they were going the other direction. At least he said that's one of the worst calls he's ever seen, the call on Travis Kelce, the pick play that wasn't.
Right.
At least he said that. But there was a lot of times during that game they kept pointing it out. Well, they should have got a call on that. Well, do this for the other team too. Be fair about it. But make no mistake about it, Colts fans. Chiefs fans are sick of Tony Romo too.
Oh, no doubt. And one thing that I'm really sick of, Bink, that we saw in that game yesterday, you'd heard about it coming into the game that officiating crew throws more flags than any other officiating crew in the NFL. That is where you get this narrative, is when there's a flag every other play and this and that, where maybe it's not super egregious or maybe it just didn't exist at all, and yet they're throwing a flag. That's where you get this narrative both ways, where the refs are just having way too big of an impact on the game. And at a certain point, I mean, we were getting frustrated at the game just watching it because we're like, there's no rhythm, there's no. And just let the guys go out there and play.
Well, the fact is, everybody that's talking about this and the ref memes on stuff we see on social media, which has become disastrous during Chiefs games, it does. Chiefs are 11th in the NFL in penalties yards going into that game. 11th in penalty yards going into that game. Meaning they do get penalized, and they have 11th most penalty yards against them. And then that stupid survey that came out said the Chiefs never get penalties, which is funny because one of the years, right smack in the middle of that survey, they had 137 penalties. Chiefs had 12 more penalties than any other team in the National Football League. But see, don't let facts get in the way of a good story. Don't let facts get in the way of your mocking the Chiefs about refs and stuff like that. Honestly, it's becoming ridiculous. It's almost every time the Chiefs beat somebody, it's not like they just beat you. There's got to be a reason for it. But
there's always an excuse.
There's always an excuse. But here's the memo. Here's the memo with everybody out there. It's kind of banking on the Chiefs and these penalties and things like this. Referees suck. And I don't care which game they're doing, but that was a poorly officiated game on both sides. NFL officials aren't good. Watch any game. You remember last year, the Rams game and the Seahawks, or the Rams game and the Vikings, and Darnold had his face mask ripped off? It wasn't even called. Where was all the crying about the Rams getting away with them there? You didn't hear about it. The Buccaneers fans were all crying what happened when they played Detroit this year. All these fan bases cry about officiating. All it does is make you a loser because officials suck. College football refs are bad. Pro football, the refs are bad. It's just not good until all these guys are made permanent employees. They're just not. And that's the problem. Some of them are, but all of them aren't. And the NFL is rich enough to do this. They're doing all the international games, doing all the streaming games. They're making money hand over fist. Make all these guys permanent, full-time employees. Increase NFL replay assist to help out in game matters so the officials don't become a part of the game like they were. And I thought the Chiefs were going to be screwed, too, when they called Braden Smith for illegal formation on the Colts. I'll be honest with you, I don't think it was. And Braden Smith, by the way, on that offensive line, the right tackle, from Kansas City. He's from Olathe South.
Oh, yeah.
Is where Braden Smith's from. He's from here. Played at Auburn in college, but he's from Kansas City. And they called on him. I go, uh-oh. If they're being that ticky-tacky, watch out, Juwan Taylor. And hopefully the Chiefs got to him, because if they called that on Braden Smith, you knew they were watching Juwan Taylor like a hawk. Because if they called that on them, they were going to call it on Juwan Taylor. But Juwan Taylor gets all these penalties. He leads the NFL in penalties. Where's the crying about that? Chiefs right tackle. What about the special teams been so bad for the Chiefs? What about every time they have a return, it gets called back because of some penalty on special teams? No. Be accurate in your statements. Be accurate at what you're saying. And actually watch the damn football game. So many people go by what they see on social media, and that's how they form their opinions. Instead of forming their opinions by actually watching the football game, don't base your opinions on what everybody else is saying, because that makes you go down that hole. Go down that rabbit hole of everybody else when you're watching what everybody does. But don't sit here and tell me officials are just looking out for the Chiefs. Every single game, people don't like the officials. So much so that when the officials went on strike a few years ago and they had the replacement refs, everybody wanted the real officials to come back only to criticize them the next day. It's like, be careful what you wish for. But again, make them all full-time employees. But make no mistake about it, don't give me this Chiefs get all the breaks. When they lead the NFL by 12 penalties, don't give me, when they're 11th in penalty yards this year, don't give me the argument. When you have touchdowns called back because of phantom face mask calls, don't tell me they get all the calls. I don't want to hear it, because you're losing the game and you're using this as an excuse, which makes you a loser. And don't tell me laying on the quarterback for defensive lineman, if that happens to Mahomes, he's getting called. Well, the Chiefs have been called for that play for their defensive players. Chris Jones has been called for that play that you're whining about before. So just stop it, man. Take your L, go home, get in the fetal position, cry in front of your mama, and shut the hell up.
I 100% agree with you on everything you're saying there. I was loving the fire there, Bink. We get a phone call. Maybe we could hit that before the break here.
Well, let's go real quick to Sandy. What's up, Sandy?
Well, Big, you make a good point of the game yesterday. Not only the flags and the amount of flags, it's the fact how many times do they interrupt the game with just wanting to know if the ball is at the right line of scrimmage. The play with Worthy when he ran off the field, and they took him a long time to blow the whistle, and they realized there was no foul because we only had 10 men on the field. We didn't have 12. I mean, it was more than just the flags.
They swallowed that one.
The pace of the play. Yeah, they just interrupted the pace of the play, really for both teams.
That's what they do.
That was a problem I had.
Well, the officiating has been bad on both sides. Again, make them all full-time, and some of them are. Do you ever see what these head refs' real job is? I went through it last year.
Yeah.
It's like charity CEOs, lawyer, CEO, charity CEO. I mean, it's funny, these guys' actual career, these head refs' careers that they have. It's funny.
I think that what needs to happen more than anything else is there just needs to be some accountability. You know, like if you call below a certain, if we do a review of all the calls and all the non-calls that you have throughout your game as an officiating crew, if you miss over X percent, maybe you're not getting opportunities to officiate in the playoffs, or maybe you're not going to get paid as much as you would have if you're officiating a 95% correct game, because nobody's going to get it 100% right all the time. There's a lot of subjectiveness when it comes to how much of a hold is actually a holding penalty and whatnot. But I think the problem is that really frustrates fans is you see games that were officiated like that yesterday, where for both sides it was a poor job and there's no accountability afterwards.
No, there's not. Here's the deal. The pay is really, really good for these guys. It's triple-digit pay. The bottom line is there's so many people in this country that want to be officials. You know what? Make that your job. Make that your career. Don't be these. Here's what they are. Here's some of the referees and what they are. Mike Wimmer, 21st year as an official. He works also as a director for several NFL documentaries. Bruce Trotesky, 18-year official. He's also an airline pilot as well. Frank Sterator, no longer in the NFL now. He works for Sterator Sanitary Supply Company. Sanitating officially. So these guys will have other jobs. There's enough people that want these positions, and they get paid big-time money to do it. In the offseason, they do training. In the offseason, do training for rules. What is a catch? What isn't a catch? They go to NFL teams, and you talk to them. Bottom line is there's enough people that want these jobs. Give it to them. Don't have other careers. Make this your freaking profession, this your career. There's so much money on these games, both with the networks paying and both everybody hitting up FanDuel and DraftKings and everybody else to bet on the games. They want it done correctly. So just do it correctly. Anyway, we come back. The Cowboys-Chiefs game has a chance to do something that's never been done. We talk about that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan. This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City. An Odyssey Sports Station.
BetMGM is coming soon to Missouri. Sports fans in Missouri can pre-register and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet loses. Plus, an additional $100 in bonus bets if they deposit before December 1st. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day with features like live bets, same-game parlays, BetMGM rewards points, and surprise boosts dropping in your account all throughout the season. It's everything a sports fan could want in one app. BetMGM is coming to Missouri on December 1st. Pre-register today. BetMGM, make it legendary. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offers subject to eligibility requirements and minimum deposit of $10. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Pending BetMGM's licensure as a mobile sports wagering operator with the Missouri Gambling Commission register for a Missouri online sport wagering account starting 11/17. BetMGM's insurance of welcome offer is conditional on full.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure what the best option is? Selling a home, especially when dealing with foreclosure, divorce, job relocation, or an inherited property, can feel overwhelming. That's why I don't just make offers. I help homeowners understand all their options so they can make the right choice with no pressure and no obligation. I'm Rex, a local homebuyer and resident right here in Kansas City. Whether you're looking for a fast cash sale or just want to explore your choices, I'll walk you through the pros and cons of selling to me or listing with an agent. If selling directly is your best move, I'll offer you a fair cash price and a closing timeline that fits your needs in as little as 7 days or on your schedule. No repairs, no commissions, no hidden fees. Just a transparent, hassle-free process so you know exactly what to expect. Let's talk. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com for a free, no-pressure consultation. Rex Buys KC, helping homeowners make informed decisions with confidence.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Who knew dressing up for a Halloween ball would change my life forever? Now I get to celebrate with the best fans and everything Kansas City. Oh, yeah! My journey also led me to Renner Garage Door, Casey's go-to team for garage door repair, replacement, and service since 1956. Renner features an MVP lineup from Delden, Amar, and Liftmaster.
R-E-N-N-E-R, R-E-N-N-E-R.
I woke up this morning feeling like I was coming down with something. Cough, congestion, headache. My first thought was, nope, this can't happen. I have big plans this weekend. So I took Mucinex Kickstart. It provides all-in-one and done relief with a morning jolt of instant cooling sensation. Thanks to Mucinex Kickstart, I didn't even need to cancel my weekend plans. If you start feeling cough and congestion coming on, take Mucinex Kickstart for relief with a kick. At your favorite retailer. Use as directed.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Within the cities we call home, Busey Bank is more than a name. It's a commitment to your dreams. With Busey, trusted guidance is tailored to empower you every step of the way. Whether it's seamlessly managing your finances or planning for your future, Busey is dedicated to your financial success. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Welcome back, 8 o'clock hour, after hours. Jay Binkley, Nick Price producing the operation. Throw the ball, Price. Just don't throw it to the Niners. So we have a 6-5 team, just like the Chiefs, the Carolina Panthers, and we have a 7-4 team, the San Francisco 49ers. First half still 3:50 left in the second half. We have a combined 4 interceptions between these quarterbacks. And Brock
It's
Purdy,
been rough. Brock Purdy looks bad.
he has 3 interceptions that just got paid. Remember, the window closes. You can't pay everybody else when you pay your quarterback. Guess who's about to find this out? The Colts. When they pay Daniel Jones, guess what? You pay your quarterback, he better be the right guy. You better have the right person, because then you're going to have to pay him. You have to pay him long-term money, and guess what? You're going to have to be like the 49ers that pay their quarterback so much money, they don't have all this other money to go elsewhere, and you have a bunch of Kansas City rejects at wide receiver playing wide receiver for you. That's exactly what happens in that situation. Nick, do you know what's going to happen with this Chiefs-Cowboys game?
I wish I knew.
Think about television ratings.
Oh, yeah.
Is this going to be the most watched game of all time? Because you have the Cowboys that claim being America's team, and you got the true America's team, the Kansas City Chiefs. And I'm not just saying that because I'm sitting in Kansas City. I'm saying it because it's fact. 3 of the 5 highest-rated Chiefs games or television games are Chiefs games. 55 of the top 60 programs in America are NFL games. But now 4, because that Broncos-Chiefs game, the Broncos are all talking about that 29 million people or 29 million people watch that game. That rates in the top 5. So actually the Chiefs are 1, 2, 3, and 5 as far as so 4 of the top 5 highest rated TV programs in this country this year have been Kansas City Chiefs games. So love them or hate them. Doesn't matter. Networks don't care if you hate them because you're watching.
Everybody's
you're
always
hate watching.
Well, and the Cowboys have always been traditionally a pretty good draw for kind of that same reason.
Oh, they are.
Because people like to
people
watch
still
and root
watch their
against
games.
the Cowboys.
They still watch their games. The Cowboys are right up there too. They're in all these teams. People watch them. And everybody's gonna be gathered with their family, their friends. They're gonna be watching the Chiefs at 3:00. They're already 1, 2, 3, and 5 for the highest rated TV programs in America this year. Okay, but the Cowboys Chiefs game is going to shatter regular season records. Because they're now going to be, after this game, after the Cowboys game, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 6 are going to be the Chiefs in rated games. The Dallas Cowboys versus the New York Giants, 2022, on Thanksgiving Day, averaged 42 million viewers, okay? That is the highest rated game, regular season game in history. Just take the Super Bowls out of it because they're higher rated than that. The 2002 Thanksgiving Day game, Cowboys and Giants, 42.1 million viewers. Number 2, 1990 Monday Night Football, Giants versus 49ers, 41.5 million viewers. Next on the list, 2003 Thanksgiving Day, Dallas Cowboys versus Washington, 41.4 million. 2023 season opener, Lions versus Chiefs, 33.7 million viewers. The next highest, week 2, 2025, this year, Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, this is all time. I was talking 1, 2, 3, and 5 just this year for the Chiefs. This is why they're the first ever team on YouTube. This is exactly why they're the first ever game that was on Netflix. This is also why they're the first ever playoff game on Peacock.
Yep.
And all the streaming companies say we want the Chiefs. There's a reason for that. So whenever you see all this thing, they want the Chiefs because the Chiefs bring in numbers. So love them or hate them, which most people around Kansas City, outside of Kansas City, they hate them. But you know what? They're still watching. They're still watching the Chiefs. Think about when the Chiefs aren't in the game. Think about how crappy this Monday night game is. With the Chiefs around, it's probably going to go down the wire because all their games go down the wire. That Sunday night football game, garbage. Chiefs get a chance on Sunday night in a few weeks against Houston. But that's the reality of things. And the Thanksgiving Day game, because Cowboys fans, they're believing in that team. Had that comeback down, I can't say how they got rolled by the Eagles. They were down 21-0 and looked bleak for the Cowboys. They came back and won. So that renewed enthusiasm for the Dallas Cowboys going against the Chiefs, Preston Road Trophy on the line. It's like one of the few games, if not the only game the NFL has a trophy, the Preston Road Trophy between the Cowboys and Chiefs. But, Nick, is there any doubt that this game will sit number 1 and the Chiefs will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 highest rated games in America this year?
After everything that you're saying, especially when you talk about the historical numbers and how Thanksgiving, Dallas, all of that is already such a massive draw for people, I think it's definitely going to be the number 1 regular season game of the year.
Standalone game. You're sitting there at
Standalone
3
game.
o'clock, Chiefs
it's also,
and Cowboys.
the early game I feel like doesn't get as much play because whether you're in the
Lions
kitchen
usually
or
suck.
something like that. The Lions usually suck.
Now that's a good game, actually. The
night
Lions
game.
and Packers.
Yeah. And then the night game is something that hasn't always been there, but usually, at least at that point, maybe you're still getting the ratings, but I'm passed out on the couch by then, taking
First
my
ever night
post-turkey
game.
nap.
First ever night game on Thanksgiving was the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Broncos.
The last time the Chiefs played on
That
Thanksgiving.
was the first ever Thanksgiving night game because Lamar Hunt was kind of not a big fan of always being Detroit and Dallas, so the NFL appeased him and say, we'll do a night game in Kansas City. Well, it's become a staple and a tradition at this point, and it'll be the Ravens against the Bengals and Joe Burrow coming back in that one. But it's a good day of
It's
NFL
a really
games.
good slate. It's a really good slate, but I think that one right in the middle of the day, Kansas City and Dallas, I think you're right on the spot there, Bink. I think that's going to be the highest watched regular season game of this season, no doubt. But it might set some records for all-time NFL regular season.
It will, because all the Cowboys fans are going to watch it. Cowboys fans are everywhere,
Right.
not just in Dallas, they're all across. So are Chiefs fans. Chiefs Kingdom's literally everywhere. It's all over the place. And then there's going to be other people that watch the Chiefs. And there are some fan bases actually going for the Chiefs. And they should go for the Chiefs. I don't know. And somehow it does matter if the Chiefs win games or lose games. It does matter either way. I think it's better if you lose them. Like this past week in Denver, they needed the Chiefs to beat the Colts.
Right.
Like if they have visions for the number one seed, they needed the Chiefs to beat the Colts. But when you look in reality, do you really want the Chiefs in the postseason? Do you really want the Kansas City Chiefs sitting there? See, if I was in Denver, I'd be rooting for the Chiefs not to be in the postseason, and I'd take letting the Colts be the number one seed or whatever, because I would value the Chiefs not being in the playoffs more than having the number one seed just because of the damage the Chiefs do in the postseason.
100%. And I think it's a similar kind of thing that you're seeing with teams. You've got the Ravens sitting there, and they're always dangerous in the playoffs, at least to a certain extent. Nobody's like Kansas City, but Buffalo and all that. And so, yeah, if you're one of these teams, whether it's Indy or New England or Denver or, even the Chargers, Jacksonville, no, you don't want to see Kansas City in the playoffs. That's the one team that is going to go into the playoffs and probably be favored in every single game. So if they get into the playoffs, they'll probably be the favorite to come out of the AFC.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Even if they're the 7 seed, even if they got to go on the road 3 times and all that kind of stuff, because we've seen them do it before.
So the NFL put out these numbers before the Chiefs played the Broncos. 55 of the top 60 shows on TV since the start of the season. So in America, 55 of the top 60 shows are NFL games. Number 1 at 33.8 million was the Chiefs and Eagles. Number 2, the Chiefs and Bills at 30.9 million. Number 3 is Dallas versus Philadelphia the first time around, 28.3 million. However, the Chiefs Broncos is actually ahead of that. So Chiefs are 1, 2, and 3 because that had 29 million. And again, this was put out before that game. So the Chiefs are actually 1, 2, and 3. The next one after Dallas and Philly was Detroit versus Kansas City, 27.4 million. And then San Francisco versus Tampa Bay at 26.9. That one falls off. That one falls off when you make room for that Chiefs-Cowboys game. So the Chiefs are 1, 2, 3, and 5. Only 4 is Dallas and Philadelphia. But when the Chiefs play the Cowboys, they're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 most watched games in America. So again, love them or hate them, and you'll remind all fan bases, guess what? The networks are going to love the Chiefs. That's why I wish they would shut their announcers up at times, because the Chiefs equal ratings gold. The Chiefs pave the way for these networks. The Chiefs pave the way for streaming networks. They all want the Chiefs to be the first game. It's all proven. They're the first ever game on Amazon. They were the first ever playoff game on Peacock, first ever game on YouTube, first ever game on Netflix. Every single streaming service has had the Kansas City freaking Chiefs because they want the ratings.
And they know that they're going to deliver at the end of the day. They know that this isn't a gamble when you put all this money out there to have a playoff game on Peacock. You're going to get the views because Kansas City delivers every time.
Yeah, they're going to deliver, and it's going to be probably a damn close game.
It's going to be entertaining, and
the
it's probably going to come down to the
city
end.
will tell you that 100%. That's what they do. But what are they saying about the Kansas City Chiefs? The tune has actually changed this week. Bring you some good news next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, this is Frank from Woodyard Barbecue, and we have $20 slabs of baby backs and $2 beers for the rest of 2025. With family gatherings happening, Woodyard can cater any size event. We also have firewood, oak for the fireplace, pinyon for the fire pit, and hickory, pecan, and cherry for the smoker. We sell it all by the log or by the bag. We've been in business for over 100 years and are proud to be part of Kansas City barbecue history. Find us at 3001 Merriam Lane in KCK or online at woodyardbbq.com. Kansas City has the best fans and the best barbecue. Eat it, smoke it, live it, Woodyard Barbecue.
Distracted driving is dangerous and contributes to 8% of traffic fatalities and over 3,500 lives lost each year in Missouri. The Siddons-Benning hands-free law prohibits the use of electronic devices while operating a vehicle. So put the phone away or give it to a passenger and stay focused on getting to your destination safely. Drive safe, drive smart, drive hands-free. This ad is brought to you by Missouri Partners in Prevention, paid for with federal highway safety funding from the Missouri Department of Transportation.
It's the fourth quarter, and 96.5 The Fan, along with the Kansas Lottery, want to send your tailgate into overtime. Register now at 965thefan.com for your chance to score a tailgate prize bundle, perfect for your next big game day, plus a $100 holiday instant ticket. All entries qualify for the grand prize drawing, so don't miss your shot. Enter today at 965thefan.com. That's 965thefan.com.
You must be 18 or older to enter.
The holidays are here, and so's the newest Academy Sports and Outdoors, right in your neighborhood. Score kids ride-ons that say, my 8-year-old's truck is nicer than mine. Grills and smokers that say, there is no wrong way to cook a turkey. And new Nike fleece hoodies that say, I keep it chill no matter the temp. Academy has all the legendary Christmas gifts your family wants at undefeatable prices, because here, fun can't lose. Win Christmas at your new Academy Sports and Outdoors.
The Fed just cut interest rates again, and that means now is the time to refinance with Golden Oak Lending. Lower rates mean lower payments, and our customers are saving hundreds every month. Plus, you can make no payments until next year. And if your loan doesn't close, we'll pay for your appraisal. Call 913-890-GOLD today and start saving.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
NMLS number 114937.
What's up, Missouri? Tony Gonzalez here. I've spent a lot of Sundays right here playing in front of the best fans in football. And now it's almost your turn to get in the game, because DraftKings Sportsbook is coming to the Show Me State on December 1st. Soon you'll get fast payouts when you win, a safe and secure app that's easy to use, and promos that keep the action going all season long. It's America's top-rated sportsbook app. New customers can sign up right now and score $300 in bonus bets on launch day, December 1st.
Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code 965. New Missouri customers, sign up today and score $300 in bonus bets once we're live. That's code 965. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Physically present in Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Terms at DraftKings.com/sportsbook. Subject to regulatory licensing requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
Inside the Huddle with Cody and Gold each day from noon till 1 on 96.5 The Fan. Inside the Huddle is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City. Discover the benefit of blue on the official radio partner of the Kansas City Chiefs. 96.5 The Fan.
Turkey, touchdowns, victory formation.
Alex Smith turns left. He'll turn it back right. It's Tyreek Hill. He's at the 30 of the Cowboys, 25, running out of blockers. He's at the 20. Hill's inside the 15 to the 10. 5, touchdown! Kansas City! An incredible play!
Listen to the Chiefs and Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day with pregame starting at noon, kickoff at 3:25. All right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
And welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, Dick Price. By the way, the Chiefs have fallen down. There are 16 teams ahead of the Chiefs now for teams going for it on fourth down. The memo was out. They were third most, then it slipped to seventh most. Now, after this week, they're 16th most. Teams aren't going for it on fourth down. The memo was out. And keep in mind, twice in the Mahomes era, teams have been the most teams that have gone for it on fourth down against the Chiefs. The memo's been out. It is very clear. Oh, Nick, I found what I was looking for. This article from 2023, but they looked at 17 refs, and this is their job. Brad Allen, ref. 10th year, nonprofit CEO. Trey Blake, a software quality assurance manager. Cleet Blakeman, an attorney. Carl Cheffers, sales manager. Lan Clark is a chief building official. Alan Eck is a tax manager. Adrian Hill is an aerospace software engineer. And Sean Hockley is a financial advisor. John Hussey is a sales rep. Alex Kemp is an insurance agent. Clay Martin is a high school administrator and basketball coach. Scott Novak is a sales manager. Brad Madgers is a college professor. Sean Smith works in finance. Ron Torbert, attorney. Bill Vinovich, CPA. Craig Rolstad, an athletic director. See what I'm saying? All these.
See, I always thought that I always thought that most of them were lawyers, right? Because that made the most sense to me.
A lot of sales managers, man.
That made the most sense to me, right? Because like lawyers, your job is to look at the law and apply it to the set of facts in front of you, which is basically you're looking at the NFL rule book and applying it to what's going on in front of you.
This is what these fan bases need to do. Look at this crap instead of blaming the Chiefs.
Right. And, like you said, too, until you have a day where there are full-time officials that this is their only job and they're only working in their off time to get better at their job and they actually have accountability and certain metrics that they have to hit where they have to be so accurate and all that kind of stuff. Until you get to that point, this is probably what you're going to get.
Yeah. Hey, we heard a lottery commercial there. Do you ever play the lottery, like Powerball, Mega Millions, that kind of thing?
Yeah, usually when it gets really big, I'm like, I got to get in. I got to get in.
That was my question.
Yeah.
That was my question for you. Now, here's the deal. I do the same thing. But subliminally, I had to sit and think about it for a minute. When Mega Millions got up there, what is around $1 billion there?
Yeah,
Powerball's
pretty
getting
close.
Up there at $700 million. I don't know if somebody won it or not. But so I'm sitting here thinking about it. Because then Mega Millions went down to $50 million. And I'm thinking about it like who the hell do I think I am? The $50 million is not going to satisfy anybody.
Right,
why do I have to wait till this damn thing gets to be $1 billion so I play it? Am I saying that $50 million is not good enough? $100 million is not good enough? I mean,
well, taxes and all that. So
I know, but I mean,
no,
if you
take half of it,
if you won $50 million right now, I'd never see you again.
Yeah,
you might make all of your Jefferson wings gold.
Pretty much, yeah. I'd probably be playing golf and laying on a beach somewhere.
Now, you'd still probably own some Jeffersons, but because that's just fun for you,
right? But you wouldn't see me working 70 hours a week
you'd be
anymore.
Busting your ass every time going between two stores,
That's
making sure they're doing good.
That's right. Yeah. So no, I think about that too, where it's like, $50 million sounds all right, but is it really worth the $2 investment here?
Like we don't play. I play Missouri Lottery too, and that's a lot. I mean, it's chump change compared to these things, but it's still great money.
No, it's great
still
money.
Life-changing money.
Right. That's the thing is like, even when it comes to like sports gambling and you throw in that one extra piece of the parlay or something because, the $20 to win $400, that wasn't enough. But if I throw in this one more, then I win $4,000. That's where the real money is. It's not the way to go about it, but I hate to say that's kind of how my brain works.
Let me tell you something fun. Speaking of sports betting in Missouri, it's going to be live here on December 1st. I know you're on the Kansas side, so you could already do this. Let me tell you this. Have you heard of Jeremiah Love for Notre Dame, that running back they have? Great running back.
Love him.
Going to be a top running back taken this year. So he was like 10th in odds for a long time. Then he slithered down to 9 and 8. This morning when I looked, he was number 2 on DraftKings at plus 350, right? On FanDuel, he's plus 450. He was tied with Julian Sayin, the quarterback at Ohio State, both tied at 450. Now, here's the interesting thing about it. I think the Fox or CBS showed it, the graphic during college football this weekend, but it was an interesting one. So Jay Burwanger won the first Heisman Trophy, right, Nick, in 1935. The significance is he's a running back. So every time that it ended in 5, the calendar, meaning 45, 55, 1965, 1975, 85, 95. Regardless, the Heisman Trophy winner has been a running back. And we're going all the way back till 1935. So every 10 years, it's been a running back other times too, but every 10 years has been, in fact, a running back. 2015 was the last running back to win a Heisman. It was Derrick Henry, 2015. Well, it's 2025. Could this be the year of Jeremiah Love? This is now a big sample size, my friend. This is going all the way back to 1935. We're in what, 2025? We're 90 years. 90 years of the Heisman Trophy, and every time it ends in 5 the year, it's a running back. I'm just saying, man. Get your plus 450 right now.
I love it.
It was a lot better before, but right now, if you did, it's plus 450.
Well, and honestly, too, just from watching him play, that guy's electric. And they went out and spanked Syracuse, which is not a good football team. But
It's probably going to be Fernando Mendoza. We know how this thing's going to work.
Right. But I don't know. I like the idea of it not just being a quarterback award, or taking a unicorn like a Travis Hunter to be able to win it outside of the quarterback position. Same thing with the NFL MVP, too. I mean, I think that Jonathan Taylor didn't do anything to help his case yesterday, but how he's been over the course of the season, how important he is to that team, and how much better they are because of the all-time season he's having, I think that should have a little bit more weight than what it's given.
Just saying, man, if you feel like, get it out. Because keep in mind, Mendoza and Sayin, they're going to take some L's at some point. Maybe Michigan beats Sayin this weekend. Who knows? Maybe Mendoza loses the Big Ten title game, loses in the playoffs. Maybe Jeremiah Love is on a roll now with Notre Dame. He's the reason why they've started 0-2 and are winning right now and in the playoffs. So just keep that in mind, man. Keep that in mind for the Heisman Trophy going forward. Jeremiah Love is now plus 450's third best odds on FanDuel because 1 is Mendoza, 2 is Sayin at plus 400. He's plus 450. The funny thing about Fernando Mendoza, right? He's the best quarterback in the nation at Indiana. So we're talking about the quarterback at Indiana being the nation. Indiana also has the most losses in FBS history. They've got 715, which is funny, which is great. I love seeing Indiana win because it is the losingest program we've ever seen at FBS level. It's amazing what they're doing. And Cignetti did it by bringing in James Madison players. And James Madison's on the cusp of being one of the group of 5 teams in the playoffs.
Yep.
But they had to replenish all their players when Cignetti took a lot of them over to Indiana. So props to James Madison, what they're doing, and props to Indiana for winning with those James Madison players. But here's the funny thing about it. So Kevin Wilcox gets fired from Cal as their head coach. He was nice enough to join Uno Cero and I in the draft special last year because he was Noah Williams' coach at Cal. So they canned him, right? There's 12 openings. Who do you think Cal's going to hire? Here's the thing. He loses Fernando Mendoza. He was at Cal last year. So he's going to be the top quarterback taken. He leaves from Wilcox's players. And Jack Endry's the tight end at Texas that's going to be a top 5 tight end in the NFL draft, went to Cal last year. So he loses that guy and the quarterback, and now you're firing the coach. When the Heisman frontrunner was with him last year.
So many teams are just so short-sighted.
The fan base isn't paying up, man.
Right.
They're not paying up, so he's losing all those guys. Regardless. Anyway, Albert Breer, tried to play this earlier. This is what he said about the Chiefs, and I absolutely loved what he had to say because it's 100% true.
This is why you don't give up on the Kansas City Chiefs. And this is a battle-hardened team. It's a tough team. As much as has gone wrong for them over the course of the first 3 months of the season, they have this other gear. And you saw it with Rashee Rice today. You saw it with the toughness of Kareem Hunt. You saw it with the defense getting stops when they needed to get stops. They've been in these high-leverage situations before. Heart of a champion, the Kansas City Chiefs. Don't give up on them.
See, and I love hearing it's Albert Breer. I love hearing that from people that have been down on them times too this year. Whenever they reset and look forward.
They come back around and they say, you know what?
The heart of a champion. Well, it's always been there. The heart of a champion's always been there. But more and more people start coming back, including Kyle Brandt from NFL Network that had something really interesting to say. And, of course, there's Chris Sims out there that was downplaying the Chiefs, saying it's funny because a lot of the national media said the Chiefs are going to be hammered by the Colts. Not just lose the Colts, but be hammered by them.
And it kind of looked like that for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then the defense settled in, and this team, they dug deep, and they remembered who they were yesterday.
Did. And my whole point was, what have the Colts done to say they go out and kick everybody's ass? Because when the schedule got better, they lost. Lost the Steelers, go to overtime with the Falcons. They're bad. And, of course, they're buying into Daniel Jones. I understand if you want to buy into Jonathan Taylor, I get it. He's good. I get if you're buying into Tyler Warren. He's good. Daniel Jones might just be Daniel Jones. Anyway, I'll tell you what Kyle Brandt said next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for Mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is gonna be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop our Black Friday event for up to 65% off in-store or at hellsberg.com.
This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help this patient.
Hi, this is Doug. I'm a patient with Heartland Men's Health. I've been doing low T treatment for just under a year now. I've always dedicated my life to work. I've always found the time to go to gym. I'm 46 years old. My energy level has been on a roller coaster. With work, when we would have like long, stressful meetings, I would notice that I was very exhausted and drained afterwards. And with the low T treatment, I'm not as stressed. I started to feel a lot more level-headed. The roller coaster kind of went away. I think Heartland Men's Health, they really have it figured out. The professional staff, I think it's a wonderful treatment for men of any age. And it's definitely a benefit I'm going to continue.
Thank you. It's true. Your initial appointment includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Hi, I'm Emily, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company, where a small box with a burgundy bow will help you win the holidays. As an in-house designer, I love creating meaningful, fine jewelry gifts. Choose a necklace with a gorgeous infinity charm to symbolize your everlasting love. Or go for a personalized piece with an engraving, their zodiac sign, favorite color gemstone, or their initial accented with pave diamonds, because a friend wants you to be a holiday hero. Stop by or shop now at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back. And however you like to get in on the action, you can do it on Underdog right now in Missouri. This season, you can make team picks and player picks. Just download the app, sign up, and you'll get $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 entry. Using Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite team will win or if your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Plus, with Underdog's quick payouts, you get your profits fast. So download the app today and use promo code BOB to secure $100 in bonus entries when you make your first $5 fantasy entry. Player picks, team picks, all on Underdog. Crypto.com predictions powered by Underdog Predict. Trading derivatives involve risk and may not be appropriate for all. For more information, visit www.nadx.com/rules and underdogfantasy.com/rules. For Crypto.com predictions, the term pick refers to a product traded on CDNA. Must be 18 and over and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms. _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Flu season is here. Get your flu shot today at your local Hy-Vee pharmacy. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment is necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. That's right, a 20-cent fuel saver. Get your flu shot when it's convenient for you. Schedule online or just stop by your Hy-Vee pharmacy. No appointment necessary. Help your family stay healthy. Get your flu shot and get a 20-cent fuel saver only at Hy-Vee. See store for details. Some restrictions apply.
You can always count on Thanksgiving football with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus.
Oh, what a catch! Touchdown!
And this year's main course is in Big D when the Cowboys host the Chiefs. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today.
Check the back seat. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good, because every year dozens of children are forgotten in the back seat. Cars get hot fast and can be deadly, so get it in your head. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
96.5 The Fan and the Kansas Lottery are giving you a shot at fourth quarter fortune with the chance to score a game day tailgate bundle and a $100 holiday instant ticket. Go to 965thefan.com for your chance to win. Must be 18 or older to enter.
You know what, Nick? It's made it a lot more fun this week for Kansas City fans that they won the game. You know, Kristen O'Carroll and I recorded Character Concerns earlier. Put it out tomorrow. The draft show that we've done every week for the Kansas City Chiefs. Going back to 23, we've done this. And Chris was thinking the same thing I was yesterday. Remember when they were down? Is it going to turn to draft season? Because I've gotten a couple mock drafts lately on Twitter. Yesterday, I actually had people tweeting during that game when the Chiefs were down, who would they look for in the draft? who's going to be some of the hot positions to take in the draft. Right now, the draft position is 15th. It's a prime position now. It was 17th. That did go down to 15th. It's also where they sit on the waiver wire. The waiver wire is inverted Super Bowl year. So the first 3 weeks of the season, they reset it to what your record is. Chiefs are 15th. In the draft order.
Well,
so Chris and I are both thinking, you know what? We hate to do it, man. Have to start promoting this because I think people will be looking for the draft this year. Because if things don't pan out and they do have a higher pick, it's going to be much more interesting than picking at the very end.
Especially much more interesting than what we've become accustomed to out here in Kansas City. And don't get me wrong, Bank.
I hope they don't. I hope they pick last.
I love character concerns. I love all the work that you and Chris Unocero do over there. But I'm really glad that we're not talking draft just about yet. And we still got some hopes for this season.
I have done it. A couple weeks ago I did, Nick. We did our first mock. We took a defensive tackle out of Georgia. We felt that's kind of what they need. But they need a lot of things. I feel they need running back help as well. And I know the 30-year-old running back had a nice day yesterday. Kareem Hunt had a nice day. That's fine. Kareem Hunt's a great piece for this team, but you don't want to wear him out either. That was the most carries he's ever had in his career. At 30 years old. He's had 29 twice, but that was his first year back in 17. Had against the Dolphins, the Texans, the 29 carries. So 30 is the most he's ever had, but they do need somebody. I'm not talking seventh rounder like a Brashard Smith, even though I believe in his ability. I'm talking second round, third round, not first round, but I'm talking early rounds, running back, viable running back, getting one early to help a 3-down type running back to help with this team.
You were talking about Jeremiah Love earlier. I would love to see the Chiefs bring in the other running back from Notre Dame, Jadarian Price. Also, I get cheaper custom jerseys if that happens.
Is that right? Oh, because of price?
We share the last name.
I like that. It depends. I've even seen like Justice Haynes I think he's been hurt with the foot injury at Michigan. I think we talk about running backs 1 and 2. It's been Jeremiah Love or him. But he's been hurt. But he transferred from Alabama. The dude's a stud. So I do like where he's going. But, yes, I think there's going to be a Katron Allen from Penn State. You're not talking the first round. You're talking the second round. You can get somebody like that for the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's out there. It's out there, my friend. But I'd definitely go much earlier for it. But I'm not a first round get a running back type of guy.
No, I think that there's plenty of value that you see in the second, third round. Now, it's hard to take a flyer at the end of the draft and have it work out, especially at running back. But I'm excited because I think that yesterday and really this entire season, even though they're trending in the right direction right now, they've kind of seen what we were talking about last week come true, where it's been the same guys over and over and over again, and you're not getting those fresh bodies in there, those fresh perspectives and everything. So I really think that they're going to go into this offseason, regardless of how the rest of the season goes, thinking, all right, well, we've got to make some changes. We've got to do things a little bit differently than what we've done in the past, and one of those things is bringing in, a valuable day 2 pick at running back.
Well, Jadarian Price, honestly, it's probably a top 10 back.
Yeah,
in the draft this year. He's a 3-down type back, too, that they have. I like Penn State's backfield, with Keytron Allen, Nichols Singleton. I think Allen's a better back at this point. Justice Haynes was an awesome guy at Alabama. He transfers to Michigan this year. He's been banged up. Jonah Coleman out at Washington. I like him a lot, too. But there's some serious running backs that tight ends, not so deep. And that's the unfortunate part. Kenyon Sadiq, if you've seen him for Oregon, dude's a stud. I think he'll be the top tight end taken this year. But honestly, when you look at the mocks and you can go through, there's this website you can go to and it's got them all. Like you put the player in and you can find out kind of who's mocking him
roughly where they're putting them based on each mock.
To be honest with you, the most predominant mocks for Kenyon Sadiq were the Kansas City Chiefs.
Makes sense.
But they went tight. That means going tight in the first round again. If that's where you want to go. If you want one of the elite tight ends, you're going to have to go early. It's not like the Travis Kelce's in the third round. You want an elite tight end because it's pretty thin as far as getting tight ends outside of the first, like an Eli Stowers of Vanderbilt. I love that guy. Your Jack Endries at Texas, things like that. But you got to go early if you're going to go tight end. But I think defensive line still pretty prevalent for the Chiefs. Let's go to Dan real quick in KCK. What's up, Dan the man?
Hey, Bink, how you doing? I watched the game at Blind Box Barbecue. Had me a beef sandwich, fries, and a Bud Light. It was a great win by the Chiefs. Everybody got a little frustrated. You know, it was that we're down 29. We're out game.
Little sauce.
Outplaying them, outstopping them. We were just but in the fourth quarter and the overtime, we just dominated. You know, so let's take care of business with the Cowboys.
That's right.
Get off to a good start and hold the Cowboys down. Take care of something.
Hey, Dan, have a happy Thanksgiving to you. All right.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to you too.
Thank you, Dan. Long time caller, Dan the man. By the way, you know my favorite running back in the one Heisman is. Speaking of on the fives, Mike Garrett, 1965.
Oh, all right.
USC, right? He's the reason OJ went to USC. Mike Garrett's also the first running back to run for 1,000 yards with two different teams. He did with the Chiefs and the Chargers. Mike Garrett is also the running back on the Chiefs World Championship team that ran 65 toss power trap. Was Mike Garrett, 1965 running back, Heisman Trophy winner. That's my favorite Heisman winner on the fives. As we come back, we'll wrap up this Monday Night Football game and talk one more time about the Chiefs before we turn the page to Dallas Cowboys.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Gates Barbecue's distinctive flavors will make your holiday meals unforgettable. Spice up your holiday table with Gates sauces and seasonings. Prepare your meats, potatoes, and vegetables with Gates seasonings and top it off with one of the 5 Gates sauces. While watching a game or your favorite holiday movie, sprinkle Gates original seasoning on a bowl of hot buttered popcorn. So good. You can buy Gates at your neighborhood grocer or online at gatesbarbecue.com. Gates Barbecue, still doing it the old-fashioned way. Thanks with love.
Get ready, Missouri. Kickoff is near. The world's largest sports book is coming to your fingertips. Circa Sports, it's sports betting the way it should be. With high and transparent app limits, low holds, and exceptional customer service. Start betting like a pro in Missouri on December 1st. Learn about your new bookie today at circasports.com. The world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Circa Sports launches December 1st.
You know, there's millions of people without the health insurance they need. I get it. You feel like it's too pricey, a headache to deal with. You deserve something better. And better health. We're on a mission to get everyone high-quality, affordable health insurance. You have health insurance needs. We have plans with low out-of-pocket premiums, with in-network preventive care at no cost to you, and a network of local doctors and hospitals. So if you're still shopping for health insurance, go to ambetterhealth.com/enroll to get your free, no-obligation quote. That's ambetterhealth.com/enroll. For coverage to start January 1st, you must enroll by December 15th. Find the plan that's right for you right now. ambetterhealth.com/enroll. Ambetter Health, on a mission for better. Ambetter Health is the brand name for health insurance products underwritten by subsidiaries of Centene Corporation. Go to ambetterhealth.com to see offerings in your state. This is a solicitation for insurance.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
The season of giving starts with getting at Twin Peaks. Buy a gift card and get a bonus card back, just for you. Give the gift of great food, ice-cold 29-degree beer, and good times. And treat yourself while you're at it. The Holiday Bonus Card Event, now at Twin Peaks.
Are you like everybody else in the world who has no idea what to get everyone for the holidays? Well, you're in luck. We got you. Hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Because with hands-free Skechers slip-ins, you just step into them and they're on. There's no bending down, no touching, no fuss. Plus, Skechers slip-ins come in everyone's favorite styles and colors. And you can get slip-ins everywhere stylish footwear is sold, including a Skechers store. Or if you're too busy to shop in person, just get them online at Skechers.com, Amazon, and more.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
And welcome back. Final segment after our Jay Binkley, Nick Price. I'll be back 6 o'clock in the morning. So we get nights and then the mornings, man. It's got to rock it, man.
I'm telling you, you should just sleep here tonight.
I have.
I have too.
Have you?
Yeah, it was after the first Chiefs Super Bowl win. We did the 24 hours of coverage or something like that.
24 hours. Remember those days.
Turns out there's a pretty comfy couch down in Sales.
Yeah.
It's the best place to sleep.
Luckily, I was going early at that point.
Yeah.
I will say this, though. It was after a Chiefs post-game show. I think it was like 3 years ago. And all these primetime games, right? So by the time network gets done and then you talk call-ins after that, you're talking not going on until 10:30 or 11, right? We were going till like 2:30 in the morning, something like that, as Kramer was producing it that night. And he was doing Fesco in the morning producing that day. He was filling in at that point for that. And I was with Kling that day. I think Bob was out of town or something. So it was like 2:33 in the morning. And I just looked at Kramer and said, why go home for like an hour or half an hour?
Right. Turn right around.
So
Come back here.
Went down the quick trip.
So it was basically like Kling and two zombies doing radio the next day.
But it was great because, Chiefs win. It made you feel good.
Gives you a little juice,
drink out a quick trip and do that. But yeah, so this week, can you imagine had they lost that game, found a way to lost that game, like the mood? I know that Thanksgiving brings people, up and everybody's excited about, Thanksgiving and going out and getting your Thanksgiving beer, which I've got all that right now, and what you're going to eat for dinner. But having the Chiefs win and sit there and watch it with your family and friends with the Cowboys game and the Chiefs, being 6-5 again, that makes a big difference, man. Now, they have ruined holidays before. Remember a couple Christmases ago?
Man, that was rough.
They whizzed in your stocking when they lost the Raiders. It does happen. Like, don't turn that turkey upside down if they lose the Cowboys, right? Just, if you're going to lose one, make it an NFC game like this one. But I don't think they're going to lose.
No, I feel pretty good about it overall. I think that, the Cowboys have shown that they're a little bit better team than what we thought from the first part of the year. But overall, this is a game that Kansas City should win. I want to say they opened as, 4.5-point favorites?
3.5
on some books.
It's all over the place.
But on the road in Dallas, Thanksgiving is kind of their day. For them to open up at 3.5, 4.5-point favorites, that means the Vegas tells you, hey, they think they're winning this game.
That's why. Last week it was Friday. I was talking. I played some Cowherd already. He's talking about Mahomes on the road, and he was talking about this year. But I've heard other people say, well, Mahomes isn't good on the road. We heard that all the way the playoffs. Remember that 9-6 season? Speaking of that, when they had to go on the road to Baltimore and Buffalo in the playoffs, people said they couldn't win on the road. And then his numbers, it's almost identical to his starts at home and on the road. He's thrown for over 1,000 more yards on the road in just one game difference. He's thrown for 15 more touchdown passes on the road. He's ran for almost 1,000 more yards on the road. His completion percentage is better on the road. His quarterback rating is 6 points higher on the road than is at home. Like, all his stats are actually better on the road than at Arrowhead Stadium.
He just loves the white jerseys.
But he's hear all this nonsense about. And remember, there for a time, he was 19-1 on the road against divisional opponents.
Right.
I mean, this team does well on the road.
I think that.
And when you have a good team, it doesn't matter. Good teams, that defense travels.
And this year, they've struggled on the road, right? But this is do or die time, and you saw what that looked like in the fourth quarter and overtime
and look
yesterday.
who they're playing. I mean, they're playing good teams.
Yeah, they're playing good teams. I mean, the only games that they've lost this year are one-score games to playoff teams.
One-score games.
They don't have bad losses.
They played like crap against the Chargers, but yet, boom, had a chance to win it again. They stopped Herbert on 3rd and 14.
Right.
They played like dog crap against the Bills. The Bills played great, but yet there they were with 22 seconds left. Josh Allen wasn't resting on the sideline because Mahomes had the ball with the chance to go down and tie it with 22 seconds left. The Broncos won on a walk-off field goal to beat the Chiefs. Again, look at all these scores. 6 points, 3 points, 3 points. Nobody is kicking their ass. The Chiefs kicked the Lions' ass.
Right.
They kicked the Ravens' ass. They've gone out and done that and dismantled other teams. They destroyed the Raiders this year 31-0. Nobody is doing that to the Chiefs.
No. And the Chiefs are one of the few teams, too, that you look at their entire schedule this year, they don't have a bad loss. Like there's some losses that you say they shouldn't have lost that game, but at the end of the year, or even beginning of the year, you go through the schedule and you say, oh, that's a win, that's a loss, that's a win.
Beat by 10 points.
These are all teams that are playoff contending teams, and in the AFC playoff picture and NFC the reigning Super Bowl champs, things like that, and they're all close.
And not playing the excuse game like every other fan base does when they beat the Chiefs. Look back at the Eagles game. Kelsey has the ball going out of his hands in the end zone that's intercepted.
If that goes the other way,
and he catches it, boom.
All of a sudden, we're talking about a 7-4 football team.
Yeah.
And then if Mahomes doesn't throw a pick six against the Jaguars, you're talking about an 8-3 football team. Then we have a much different outlook on how this team is.
It's what Dave Vermeil used to say. Football comes down to 1 or 2 plays, and that's 100% right.
And that we've seen it more than ever this year.
Does. Good teams, 1 or 2 plays matters with the Chiefs. It shows you the fine line, how close they are to these games, where 1 or 2 plays does matter for the Kansas City Chiefs victory or not. When there's a ton of NFL teams that go get rolled on a weekly basis. Look at the Buccaneers yesterday. That's a halfway decent football team just getting completely dismantled.
Just getting steamrolled. And
I know they have injuries and stuff like that, but that was embarrassing.
But everybody's got injuries too. And, the Chiefs weren't exactly 100% healthy throughout that game. They had a lot of guys get banged up in the middle of that game, but they were still able to find a way.
Yeah, and also, by the way, the Texans, that everybody's talking about the Texans and how, good they looked against the Bills. They forget, this team also has a 3-point win over the Titans. You know what I'm saying? That football catches up with you. Because there was only 3 points against the Titans they won before they beat the Buffalo Bills. Go figure. The NFL doesn't make sense sometimes.
Right, and speaking of the Bills, I mean, they got boat raced by the Miami Dolphins. There's a lot of these teams out there that have those bad losses on their schedule.
But they got their movie.
But they got their movie. They got their Hallmark movie. Go get your Hallmark Plus subscription if you want to check it out. But no, I think when it comes to this Thursday, Bink, I think you got to feel confident about Kansas City coming in because their back's against the wall, and they're more than capable. Now, Dallas is a little frisky, but personally, I'm not worried. I think that it's probably going to be a very stressful game, but when the end of the game, when the clock hits 0, I think Kansas City comes out on top.
Which Chiefs player is going to, if maybe not at all, is going to jump into the Salvation Army kettle?
No,
that's kind of is it going to be Kelsey?
If it's anybody, it's probably Kelsey, right?
Yeah, somebody's jumping into the kettle.
That kind of fits the narrative.
I see Chris Jones doing it.
Now that'd be cool.
Regardless, Nick, it's been fun this year. My friend, have a happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
You as well, Mr. Bink.
I need to go some Jefferson wings. That's what I need. That's completely what I need. Anyway, everybody, good night. I'll see you in the morning. Talk to you soon. Literally.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks.